Over the past few years, we've really seen this kind of technology mature, and emerge as a viable display option for both productivity and media consumption. But the question has always remained, how well does it work for gaming? I've used AR and XR glasses before in the past, and they're far from perfect, but this one seems to solve a very interesting issue that exists among others within this wheelhouse. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Goovis Art. It's a head-mounted display that pretty much falls into the same category as AR glasses. But how well do they actually work? Or better yet, how well do they actually work while gaming? Let's find out. Inside the box, you have the head-mounted display itself, a USB-C to USB-C cable, a cleaning cloth, some paperwork, and a travel bag. Taking a closer look at the headset, it's got two micro OLED panels, with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, with a refresh rate of 60 Hz. It displays a screen equivalent of about 110 inches, and has a contrast ratio of about 100,000 to 1. Topside, you have the volume up and down, the brightness up and down, a one-press 2D to 3D button, and the locking mechanism for the pupil distance adjustment. You push this over to the side and then you're able to move the lenses horizontally. Then you go ahead and lock it right into place. Over on each side is where you'll find the myopia adjustment knobs. And this is really what separates the Art from other products such as AR glasses. My eyesight is terrible and I wear prescription glasses. So while using AR glasses in the past, I've had to always purchase prescription inserts. Now a quick solution to this would be just to pop in my contact lenses. But when I'm relaxing around the house wearing my glasses, the last thing I want to do is swap over to contacts just to use my AR glasses. On top of that, every time my prescription changes, I have to buy new inserts. With the Art, that is not an issue because they can be worn right over your prescription lenses, with no distortion of the image and no sacrifice in visual quality. This is a huge convenience, and if I'm being honest, one of its largest selling points. Now there's pros and cons to both a head-mounted display and AR glasses, and we'll touch on that a little bit. But thinking about it, to go into full detail, that might actually need to be a completely separate video. Let me know if that's something you guys are interested in seeing, a head-mounted display versus AR glasses video. But we'll touch on some comparisons in a little bit. On the forehead mount, you have a USB-C input on one side and a 3.5mm headphone jack on the other. Now the default headband that comes with it is this typical stretchy behind the head adjustable by Velcro kind of deal. Now it works perfectly fine and gets the job done, but they also sell this zero pressure elite headband that kind of hugs the crown of your head and it is adjustable with this dial right here. It is by far the more comfortable of the two options, and I would highly recommend getting one. Another interesting accessory is this power bank base. It's a modular 8000 mAh power bank that has a variety of different detachable add-ons that serve a bunch of different purposes. For example, the one that I have here is the USB-C hub, which is awesome for providing additional power while being used with a handheld gaming PC, and can even be used to dock a Nintendo Switch. For other home consoles, such as a PlayStation 5, they have an HDMI to USB-C converter. Other add-ons for the power bank base that I didn't get are a streaming media player and a casting box. Honestly, this thing is pretty badass in and of itself and is super useful for any kind of USB-C display. Now while using the Art, the image quality was absolutely stunning. Colors were vibrant, refresh rate is nice and crisp, and latency was non-existent, even while using the HDMI to USB-C converter, which is what I needed to use while playing the Switch too. Now I will admit, even an incremental increase to 75 Hz would give it that much more of a pop, but 60 Hz was still perfectly fine. One thing they completely nailed with this thing are the edges. Anyone that's used AR glasses know that the edges sometimes bleed into the surrounding space, oftentimes resulting in them being blurry or slightly difficult to make out. With this head-mounted display, that is not the case. The image is crisp all the way around. Now I'm trying my best to show you guys what it looks like inside of the lenses, but trust me when I tell you, as good as it looks on camera, it looks that much better while being worn. Now, as with everything, it's far from perfect, and here's where some of those comparisons come into play. For starters, one thing you may sacrifice while choosing a head-mounted display over AR glasses is comfort. As comfortable as the Goovis are to wear, nothing beats being able to put on a pair of glasses and sit back. I wore them comfortably for about 3 hours straight before I needed to take them off and allow my forehead to breathe a little bit. Another area where you may have to compromise is audio. The strategical placement of the speakers while using AR glasses create this spatial audio effect where I hear everything loud and clear, but the people around me hear practically a whisper. With this head-mounted display, as loud as you hear the audio is as loud as everyone around you is going to hear the audio. But I think they were aware of this, which is probably why they included a 3.5mm headphone jack. But when it comes to actual image quality, the Goovis Art is among the best I've ever seen. Now let's close this out by talking about who exactly is this made for. With a retail price upwards of $500, this is not just a casual purchase. But if you're seriously looking into an AR type display and you wear prescription glasses, this head-mounted display should really be considered. Even with my prescription inserts in my AR glasses, the image quality here is way better. As always, I'll have links to everything that I talked about in the description below. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.